me set this up. Here we go. The roads are all choked with snow and drifting flurries. It's almost blinding. After following the children to the outskirts of town, throughout the woods, they lead you to a clearing surrounded by snow-covered pine trees. At the far end of the clearing is a tall, 3-story brick house that has seen better days. The windows are dark and frosted. You swear this house is defiantly staring back at all of you. Something is odd and strange about the house and the location. Though you don't see other houses in the area, there happens to be a very small graveyard to the left side of the house. A rusted cemetery gate. It trembles in the cold, squealing softly on its hinges. What few tombstones you can see from your location, they're almost completely buried in snow. Now the moon does provide an angelic glow to this wooded area. And the wolves that cry in the distance, they're not crying because they're hungry. They're crying out of fear. At the moment when you guys are about 30 yards from the house, both Rose and Thorn, they tense up and you feel it as they want to stop. So, they actually do. Are you going to stop? Or?
No, I feel... Oh, hey. You kind of stop with them. And now, we're here. Is it really... Can I do a perception just to like see if they're like how intense they're willing to like just stop?
Yeah, make the perception.
It's too cold out here. Perception. So flat 2.
You hear the girl mumbling to her little brother. We won't have to go in, Thorn. We won't have to go in. Now the rest of you stand and you look at the house. I need you 4 to make perception rolls. The magic number is 15 or higher.
13.
21.
10.
All right. So, you think you see some flashing movement or shadows in some of the upper floors of the house, as if somebody's there.
You mentioned you still have relatives left?
I talked to the girl.
Her name is. She goes. My name is Rose. Our father, he left a long time ago. Left us with the nanny, the baby Walter. He hasn't came back, and since he's left, things have changed in the house. It's haunted. We won't go back in. She obviously looks very terrified.
If it is haunted, I shall purge these aberrations.
Both of them look at you with bright eyes, and almost sadly, they put their heads down and nod no, as if they think you may fail.
You can count on Thalia, love. She's always been like that. But you said a nanny was still here?
Yes.
Then surely they'll answer the door and start walking towards it.
Okay.
I'd like to stealth and hide behind, like underneath one of the front.
Can you just show me a line?
Yeah.
Don't. Just put your characters in a line walking to the house.
Yep.
So I see.
Alright, well, I'm back here with the kids, because...
I was here.
I'll stay back with the kids. Yep.
The kids are going to go to you now. Okay, so they go and they go huddle behind him really quick, the wizard. And you're looking at this house, and it's a very ominous-looking house. On the side of the cemetery, the gate is slowly squealing open and closed. You especially feel the urge to maybe go to the cemetery, as maybe there's some blessing or something unnatural or not.
Can I use divine sense?
Yes.
Alright, that's my action then.
Okay. Your action is you sense something unholy is coming from the house and the cemetery.
I will put my hand and grip my morning star in preparation for anything.
The rest of you see Thalia grab her item, and she seems very serious, as something's afoot.
I'm going to turn to Rose and Thorn. Children, stay back behind me, okay? We'll take care of this.
They actually do. They go right behind you, and they hold onto the back of your cape. tightly, but you feel them shaking, scared. The group, let's all make perception rolls one last time. Magic number is 15.
3.
Into it. 7.
16.
That's 7.
Of course, she does it again. As the rest of your party is ready to move up towards the house, again, something feels like it's drawing you to the cemetery. As you look at the tombstones, you feel that there's a glow about one of the tombstones. And maybe it's the snow playing a trick on you, but maybe it's something important.
Taylor,
Aye.
you see that shawny in the cemetery?
I believe so.
Might be worth investigating.
Very well. I'll head to the cemetery.
So I too put my hand on her rapier and walk with Thalia towards the
Okay. You both are going towards the cemetery. You?
I'm running for the door.
And you?
I'm staying. I'm gonna kind of take a couple of steps and go in between about cemetery, watching those two go that direction, and watching him go towards the door.
Okay.
Kind of get a.
So Yarn, let's put you at the door. Let's put Scamp and Thalia by the gates of the cemetery. And Argolius, the children that are behind you, don't go, please don't go. And they're sort of tugging you not to move forward.
I'm gonna stay back, but I've got to help my friends.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take just a couple of steps forward, not a huge journey.
The children sort of stay where they are, and they don't go back, and they're huddling, keeping each other warm as they're watching this unfold. So what we're going to just do is go around a certain area. So Thalia and Scamp, as you approach the cemetery gates, you see that there are 3 tombstones. 2 of them have graves that have been dug. It's about 6 feet deep, and they're filling up with snow. A 3rd grave has been filled, and it's sitting there by itself. 3 tombstones. There is some type of eulogy written on the 3rd tombstone that has already been filled, but from where you're at that gate, you really can't tell what it says.
I'd like to gently push on the gate and see what happens.
You do. The gate actually opens up. Nothing happens.
Alright. Can I walk in?
You start walking in. You following? Put you guys in the cemetery.
Straps in the way. I push everything.
Oh, somebody help him so we don't destroy his Godzilla straps.
Sorry.
It's okay, no worries. You look good. As you go into the snow-covered cemetery, the snow crunches beneath your feet. You immediately notice two of the tombstones that have the dug graves have no eulogy whatsoever. But there is a 3rd tombstone, and you see there is a eulogy written on it. And the eulogy says, "Here lies, but nothing else." Make an investigation roll, you two.
2.
19.
She's gonna kill me. Thalia, you can't figure out anything other than that this says "here lies," but you see that it's freshly chiseled, probably within the day or the few hours. But nothing else. It says "here lies." Okay. Yarn.
Yeah. Yarn's gonna just walk up to the door.
Okay. Yarn. As you approach the house, the snowfall actually begins to taper off and eventually stops. And the rest of you see this. The snow stops. Yarn, you get to the door and you begin to hear strange noises coming from inside. You think it's whispers, you think it's moaning, but you can't tell. Maybe it's the wind playing tricks on you. Once you're there, you see there are 2 oak doors behind a wrought iron gate. So there's a portico. We have a wrought iron gate, a portico, and 2 oak doors. The gate to this house is unlocked. And the 2 main doors beyond that sit quietly, they emit a soft light from inside the house, spilling outward into the portico. Chills actually go up your spine as you feel very uneasy, almost as if the house is calling to you. You can open up the gate.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up the gate.
You grab it, it's ice cold. You hear the sounds of the rusted gate. You walk through the portico to these 2 large oak doors. You knock?
Yeah. Hammer away.
Okay.
Lord, you better be careful.
No need to fear what's already dead.
I beg to differ.
You knock on the door. You hear echoing inside, but nothing else.
Knock harder.
You start hitting it. Now the rest of you hear this as you see your sibling, orphan sibling, banging on the door bravely. Nothing's going on. Now, you with the 2 kids, You're staying there, the kids are staying back. We'll be safe outside, good Lord. We will. But please, if you go inside, be careful. The house is not right. It is haunted. They say to you, Argolius.
What's haunting the house?
Well, we don't really see them, but we hear their voices, their whispers. We hear them running, breaking, clawing, speaking languages we don't know, Rose says. Thorn, again, has not spoken one word, but he's nodding his head as he's agreeing with his older sister.
Don't worry, we'll take care of this.
So they sort of step back. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna step up and approach the door.
Okay, let's put your character up there. Yorn, you hear somebody crunching the snow behind you. You turn around, it is your brother, Argolius. And you both sort of make eye contact.
Argolius, you're going to join me today.
I'll be with you.
Duke, what would you like to do?
Well, looking over the children, y'all are not gonna budge an inch, huh?
They won't.
Alrighty then. I look over at the graveyard.
Okay. And you see both your sisters over there.
Hey, yell as possible as I can. I know with the storm outside, but hey, sis, both of y'all.
Turns around.
Y'all got this? Because they're going towards the house, and I really don't think that's the smartest idea. But, hey, what do you want me to do? Follow suit with the other brothers, or do you two got the graveyard?
I got Thalia's back. Keep the boys out of trouble, like you always do.
Now, for Thalia and you, Scamp, you both look around the graveyard. There's nothing else of interest. You do see several shovels protruding from the snowy ground. But other than the tombstones and some weird-looking statues, there's nothing else of value in the cemetery that you can see.
I mentioned to her, hey, Thalia, this middle gravestone looks new, like fresh. Someone just took a chisel to this.
Could it be perhaps they weren't finished?
I get the feeling they were interrupted. I like to sort of peek over at one of the empty graves.
Okay, you look down, and it drops about 5 feet, and the bottom is all filled with snow. You don't see nothing else.
It's giving me the chills more than the weather.
What's with the statues?
The statues are just ornate-looking statues that you see in any common cemetery. They're very peaceful and tranquil. You don't get any bad vibes from the statues, but you do pick up some type of bad vibes from the tombstones. Could be an omen. And there may be names on there sooner than later.
There's nothing written on the open tombstones that we can see.
Those are blank. Those tombstones are absolutely blank with open tombs. The only tombstone that has something is the one that's already filled. Here lies, nothing else.
Can use divine sense again and see if there's anything there?
No,
Okay.
you pick up nothing else.
Alright.
Let's just be on our guard. Maybe join the brothers.
That seems the best course of action.
Okay, let's very carefully put both you guys with the brothers.
As they rejoin the group, Dorn says, "Are y'all done playing in the snow?"
Just taking it slow.
Found a dirt nap for you.
Yorn very bravely grabs both of the door handles. And as he's about to push it open, the rest of you look back at both Thorn and Rose with their beautiful, innocent eyes, and they stare at each of you. And each of you sort of see yourselves in these small children. And they look at you almost as if this may be the last time they'll see you alive.
I give them a little thumbs up and a wink.
And they watch you with concern. I'm going to bring out the next piece. This takes 1 second. You'll need to stop.
Ready to hit things.
I swear to God, if I get punched in the mouth again, I swear.
Ready for the sneaky stabby.
Yorn, which are you? These are my fog of war. I do that because obviously if you see a room filled with gold and treasure, you're going to run to it. And with that said, Yorn bravely pushes open the doors. Yorn, the heavy doors open very slowly and they creak. Even though you're pretty strong, you're having a difficult time. Ignoring a shiver as you escape the winter cold, the rest of you cross the stone protocol and go into the house. So let's move into this foyer. You find yourself in an immaculate foyer, illuminated by melting candles affixed to a single chandelier dangling from the ceiling. There is a beautiful oil painting mounted to your right, and it's framed. The painting consists of a well-dressed couple and two familiar children. It's of Rose and Thorn. The face on the woman has a big black X on it, almost as if somebody burnt an X on the woman's face. You cannot tell or recognize the woman. The man's face appears to have been torn from the canvas. And there is a small plaque above the painting, and it reads, "Family is everything." At the other end of the foyer, silent and brooding mahogany frame doors lead deeper into this manor. And there is, however, a very mysterious armored suit with a massive sword standing in the middle of the foyer. And at this moment, you start hearing something higher up into the house.
I'm gonna be fascinated by the armor and just beautiful work that is.
As Athaliah is loving the armor, the rest of you hear footsteps above you in the house. You're obviously not alone. You are not alone.
I look at Yorn and put my back on the wall and crouch. I'd like to try and still hug the wall.
Which wall?
That one.
Okay, that's where the paintings are, right?
Yes.
Okay, make a perception roll. Oh wait, you're 13. Hold on. Yeah. You immediately, as you sort of squat and go ahead of everyone along the wall, you see below the painting dried blood drops all around the base. It's very hard to pick up, but you instantly picked it up. Okay. What would you like to do?
I think that I'm going to kind of scoot around here and kind of step back behind everybody else.
Okay, let's do that.
And then, well, the paintings are here,
Yep.
right? Okay. And then
One big painting, yeah.
Yep. And then I want to look at the painting and see if I notice anything different between Rose and Thorn in the painting and then the Rose and Thorn we were just with outside.
Make an investigation roll, please.
Don't fail me, dice.
12 or higher. For the rest of you, there's continued movement of somebody or something walking about the house.
That's a 14.
You look at the painting, both Rose and Thorn look very healthy, very happy, and they seem to be clinging very closely to both the man and the woman in the picture, but you can't tell their faces. The woman's has the big X, and the guy's face has been ripped from the canvas.
Taking note that he went over to the painting, I follow him and go, I call this a love-hate relationship between the family. The two kids are left alone, but orphans. Familiar feeling.
They're sort of near me. I'll sort of wave my arm to get their attention, point quietly down towards the blood spatters.
All you guys look down at the spatter on the ground, and it's low-velocity droplets, like somebody was either bleeding or something. So, standing over the painting.
Bit of a scuffle.
I think it might belong to whoever did that to their faces. Possible.
Kate, fear not, for the gods are with us. Let us continue, shall we?
Yorn, what would you like to do?
Yorn, after hearing the conversation, is going to pull out his sword, a long sword, to say, as long as they're looking for a fight.
Ooh. Okay. So before you guys move forward, there is in the middle of the foyer a massive looking, beautiful, clean, shiny suit of armor standing there defiantly, staring in your direction. I'd like everyone to make a perception roll. The magic number is 18.
Nope.
Of course, she's gonna fucking kill me this game. Nope.
18.
On that 20.
First nat 20! First nat 20! Though the rest of your orphan family seems pretty nervous about the statue, you guys feel comfortable that it's probably just a suit of armor. So.
It's quite pretty, isn't it? Don't touch it, scamp.
But I got my fingers where you can seize them.
But
I think it's a bit unnerving.
to you three, you're uncomfortable with this thing just sitting there in the middle of the hall.
It's a bit bold placement, isn't it?
Well, they're looking by the house. That's money we've never seen.
That's right. And this place is actually very clean, very immaculate, and it looks like this house is of money.
How well made is the armor?
Say again?
How well made is the armor?
It is well made, and it is well kept and tarnished and shiny, even cleaner than your armor.
Anybody with an oil painting of them's a fancy pants. Fact.
But how is it all so clean? The house is dilapidated from the outside.
Right.
There's no one here.
Well,
How is it all so clean?
That's not true. You don't hear those footsteps above our head.
I mean, maybe it's the nanny. Just seems very clean for a house that's haunted.
I agree. Maybe they're well-kept ghosts. Who knows? Anyways,
Shall we go see if we can meet this mysterious footstepper?
yeah, I agree with that one.
I'll
We
go
might
all
find
in.
out.
Alright, who's going first?
That would be I.
Okay, Yorn, move your character past this statue, the armored suit. Nothing happens. So, for argument's sake and time's sake, you guys all pass, and the armored suit, nothing happens, and you get to these mahogany doors. Yorn, are you once again going to open them?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I got mouse.
here we go.
What's your intelligence?
Yes. That'd be 10.
That's higher than mine.
Is it?
Better than a negative number.
Okay.
I'm not bad actually, I'm just scrawny. I got a -1 for strength.
You're not alone.
When you open the main doors, the mahogany doors, Yarn, all of you are welcome to an elegant hall with the sound of music coming from upper levels of this house. It's a piano. It is both breathtaking but sad. There are tall brass torch sconces throughout this hall, making it glitter. Its wood panel walls are ornately carved with scenes of frolicking nymphs and satyrs. On one end of the hall is a sweeping red marble staircase that climbs up to unknown heights. Across from the stairs is a black marble fireplace. It's cold and unlit. Mounted above the fireplace is a short sword with clear words written into the hilt that say hope. Several oak doors leading to other rooms are also visible, and there are several beautiful statues in the middle of this hall. So, Yorn, you're going in first, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Put your character in.
Oh, I'm going second.
All right, go ahead, go second. And I guess for argument's sake, anybody else going to stay behind in that room?
No, I'll continue.
Okay. Argolius?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just stay in the back.
All right. And suddenly, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. There are several doors. There's a massive stairwell going up, and there are torches. This place is immaculate. It's clean. It looks like a very well-to-do family once lived at this house, or still lives at this house. And the music upstairs, whoever played it, is a master of the piano.
This just beautiful. It's fancy.
That is an understatement. And a little too suspiciously considering two kids don't want to come to a home this beautiful.
I said none of they was serious.
Well, as serious it could be. I don't particularly care for this. Something does not seem right to their description versus this.
Did we ever get the family name for those two?
No, all we got was their first names. We didn't get the full names.
To be fair, us ourselves aren't very good with surnames.
Fair enough.
Didn't really matter.
That's fair. We didn't come from a surname.
Do I see the short sword above the hearth?
Yes, you
I'm gonna
do.
go to it.
You go to the short sword and carved into the hilt the word hope. But there's also magic sigils on the sides of the hilt as well. If you make an Arcana check,
Oh.
high number for you.
Oh, that one.
I'm gonna touch it.
I'd rather help you.
What, you got that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the magic.
Okay, so you're looking at this sword and it looks pretty significant. You see the word hope carved into the hilt, and there are magic sigils down the sides of the hilt as well, but you just can't figure out what it says. It's not in your wheelhouse, so to speak. The rest of you see her looking at this short sword in sort of like a quizzitive look, like she's trying to figure something out.
Beautiful and shiny.
What have you found, Scamp?
There you go.
Is it? Hey, yes, bookworm. Is I wave over to Argalius. It's like,
I'll shuffle over just behind.
Okay.
is it, look, I'm just passive at common, but you got the fancy letters. Look, and I hand over the short sword to him.
You see these sigils, and it's something that you're pretty familiar with. However, you need to make a roll with advantage, and your magic number is 10.
Either one isn't any good. That's going to be a non-natural 20.
An unnatural 20.
Arcana, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Unnatural 20.
Because of your studies, you've seen these type of swords before, and they're commonly used to battle the undead. The user of this sword will get the sword does 1d6 damage, but plus 4 extra against the undead. It's a magic sword. Short sword.
Scamp, it's not hard for me to tell, although it's a little unusual for a family manor to have a sword like this. But if we are fighting ghosts or undead, this would be a good thing to pick up. I don't normally encourage you to take, but maybe you should.
Yes. As I sort of excitedly hold my head back up for this.
It's magic sword versus undead. 1d6 plus 4 if it's undead. Yorn, because of your passive perception. Yorn, as they're gloating over this magic sword and you're inquisitively watching this hall, you notice that you marvel at the craftsmanship of the ornate walls, as if somebody was carving beautiful symbols and stuff into the walls. But these nymphs and satyrs that you saw earlier, you pick up on something. There are also freshly carved serpents and skulls woven into the designs. It's strange that most of the party didn't pick up on this the first time.
Well then, kind of wander over next to Yorn.
Okay. So now you all are in this hall. You saw something strange in the ornate carvings on the walls. The torches are blazing. There's beautiful music upstairs, and there are multiple closed doors in this area. So you can go upstairs, you can leave the house out of fear.
We can
and
tell
run.
that the music's coming from upstairs.
Oh yeah, definitely upstairs.
I tell you what, I feel like we need to kind of check out this whole entire bottom floor before we wander up. My sinking suspicion is we need to confirm anything down here is down here. If not, then we move upstairs because that way we can confirm it's up there.
Agreed.
Very well.
Yes, let's do a sweep.
Sounds like a logical plan.
Well then, Yorn, since you are a door opener, go out. Okay.
You walk over to these doors, Yorn. It's a beautiful door. There's a brass handle. You're opening it?
Oh yeah.
Don't break it, Yorn.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be our house.
No, that's why the orphanage shouldn't have doors, Yorn.
that big, very carefully pick that up so not to move the others. That one, yep. Yorn, and can you fix that square, make it straight so you guys can't peek what's in there? Thank you. Yorn, opening this door, you first see a crystal chandelier glittering above a dining room table, and it watches over 8 empty chairs. The chairs are high-back chairs with cushioned red velvet, and it's actually the same velvet that you see on the silk drapes by the covering windows. And like the main hall, the walls are innately carved with elegant images of deers prancing between ancient trees. The table's actually set with all sorts of polished silverware. It's actually dazzling. Above the unlit fireplace, there's an oil painting. It's pretty creepy, but it's depicting of a smiling chef holding cooking utensils in this very room. And at the far end is a large familiar tapestry that covers an entire wall. Okay, he sees this and
I'll relay that.
Is he actually step all the way in the room?
yeah, let's put him right there. Yep.
I'm gonna follow him in.
Okay.
Considering
Before I go in, could I check out those statues in the middle of the entrance?
Sure can.
I had the same action. I'll go with Failure.
All right, both you guys, let's make a perception roll.
All of 3.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural. She's gonna kill me this game. I hope your combat you don't roll like that.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm gonna get slaughtered in the first roll.
Scraps like I see.
I see everything
To
except my
you,
head.
as you study, they look like normal statues, elegant but normal. To you, these are extreme works of art. A master sculptor, a master of masonry carved these beautiful things, and they obviously cost a lot of money. But you see nothing else.
Oh, they're beautiful. I'm so mad I can't fit them in my pack.
So, weird noises and shifts in the air bother you about this room for you and who else is in there?
Me, Duke.
Both of you guys. Argolius, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go back to in front of the fireplace here.
Okay.
And you said it was not lit, right?
Right.
I'm gonna extend my hand and use prestidigitation to light the fireplace.
You raise your hand, the fireplace lights up, and you hear a thud coming from a closet door across from the hall. You guys hear this too. You first see the light of the fire in the fireplace, and you hear a thud coming from a door.
Let's first turn to the door, and then I look at the two of them, and I go, "Did you hear that?"
I'll check it out, she says and starts moving towards the door.
I turn towards the door and unsheathe the short sword.
All right.
This door correct?
And you're inside the room. Put all three. I guess you're going towards the door, also. You're staying by the fireplace.
I'm gonna go a little closer, but I'll stay back.
Okay. Yep. You two in the room. You stop right there. What would you like to do?
I want to look at the walls of this room to see if there's also the serpents and the skulls that match the other room.
And your passive, yeah. You start looking, and you start peering and studying the wood paneling. Things obviously appear different now from first glance. You notice twisted faces carved in all the tree trunks, and now there are wolves lurking in the shadows, looking to attack some of the does, the deer.
How lit is this room?
It's well lit. There's a chandelier with lights.
Okay.
Jordan, I sense that you're uneasy. What are you looking at?
This artwork is a bit off-putting, don't you think?
Following his gaze and like taking in and focusing more on his direction, I start noticing the more aggressive features of this artwork.
As you do, the door behind both of you slams closed.
Oh,
The three of you hear the door boom, boom, close,
Alright.
and your brothers are trapped in that room. You two notice immediately the painting of the chef has a very sinister smile about his face. All the silverware, plates, and glasses begin to tremble, and all of a sudden, magically, begin to levitate. Everything starts going crazy about this room and swirling around, swirling around. I need both of you to make DC saving throws, dexterity saving throws.
Nat 20.
No way.
Oh yeah?
What'd you roll?
Unnatural.
Unnatural 20? All the glasses, the silverware, everything's are flying all over the place. The painting of the chef looks even meaner, and you see blood on the utensils in the painting. Every round you guys are going to be in this room, unless you try to do something, your DC is going to go up, and the stuff flying at you is going to be more fierce. So, what would you like to do?
Jordan, we need to get them. We gotta get out now.
I have a plan.
Okay, plan. Go ahead.
I want to take the painting of the chef, and I want to light it on fire using the candles from the chandelier.
Alright, that is your turn. Get closer. Oh, the candle's shining. You got to jump up. Make a dexterity roll to jump up on the table.
Just Dex?
Yep, regular dex.
Just 12.
You do it instantly. You jump up on the table, dodging most of the stuff flying in your direction. What would you like to do?
Jordan, I got a better idea.
Well, he's already reaching up, grabbing the candles.
Fair enough. I turn around to the door.
Yep.
And I shoot Eldritch Blast at the door to see if it'll get in the butch.
Absolutely. Make the roll. It has an AC.
14.
The door lights up with a blast that would knock down the biggest of a man. An ox. The door is unscathed. Nothing happens.
Jordan, we got a problem.
Okay. So let me stop now. The three of you, the door slams, and you hear shattering of utensils and breaking, and you hear arguing and yelling back and forth from your brothers inside that room. What would you guys like to do?
Is the second door open?
No, you guys didn't open that one yet. Well, you heard the thud?
Yeah.
No. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to abandon the one little closet area and try to slam down the door.
Okay.
Yep, I'll run over and assist.
It's a high DC. Go for it. I'll tell you in a second when you make a roll. 18. 18 high. Yeah.
Strength.
Strength, yep. You try it and you cannot break down that door. Scam, what would you like to do?
Out of anger, I try and like kick down the door as well.
Go for it.
I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you've been rolling like freaking 18 and higher all night.
Ah, 2!
A 2! And now you hurt your leg, you step back, you sort of limp. Both of you girls cannot knock down that door. Argolius.
I'm definitely not the strong one.
Can I use divine sense to do this real quick?
Well, let me let him know.
I'm going to walk over to the door here.
Okay.
And I'll go try and turn the door.
That a small door, right? You open it up. Can you get that piece? As you open up the door, you stumble upon a closet, and it's stocked with 3 black cloaks, and a strange top hat which appears to have fell off the shelf. There's a small piece of paper on the floor under the top hat. The cloaks have magic sigils around the hoods.
I'm going to take a look.
Make Arcana check. Use advantage. Oh my god, here we go, another one. Another nat 20. All 3 of these cloaks you found in the closet are cloaks of protection. The wearer gets a +1 to their AC. So there's 3 of them in there.
I'm going to snatch those cloaks. I'm going to throw one at Thalia and one at Scamp, and I'm going to drape one on myself.
Alright, and there's a top hat with it looks like to be a letter or a note on the floor.
I'll walk over and take a look at the note.
Oh, that's not the wrong one, sorry. You guys see your brother Argolius bending down and reaching up and grabbing a note, and he's reading it.
Hey, what are you doing? We've got something going on here.
We ain't got time for that, Argy. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a solution that might work. You can try the door again.
With that said, while he's reading this, I'm going to go back to both of you. Dexterity saving throws. It's going up now.
16.
16, you're good. You are not. You start getting slammed with plates and silverware. Every round of damage will go up 2. You take 3 points of slashing damage. You see him on top of the tables getting hit. I need you to also make another dexterity saving throw, 10 or higher. You fall off the table, the candle rolls on the ground and goes out. What would you like to do?
Does he have the painting on the wall or is it still on the wall?
I'm sorry, say again?
Is the painting on the wall still?
Yes, and you're looking at it again, now the chef is completely covered in blood and he's holding the utensils above his head.
Oh, god damn it. Turn around and go, you know what? We'll get it off that wall. Eldritch Blast at the...
Let's make a roll, dexterity roll. Your range attack, rather.
So 14.
And at that moment, all the silverware, all the spinning plates, everything just drops to the floor. You blast the painting, it is ashes and it falls to the ground. The room is quiet. You're on the ground, everything falls next to you. You have some cuts and scrapes. The door unlocks and opens. And the 3 of you see this door open up.
Well, that would have worked.
Oh, you had a great idea, but I was a little faster than all.
So,
You trying to alert everything in here? What the hell was that?
No, we were invited to dinner.
And now it falls quiet again, and the music still plays upstairs. You two in the room, what would you like to do?
I hope you're out. All right, buddy, come on.
You had a
help
good
us.
idea, but you weren't graceful enough. So.
No.
Alright, do you guys want to do anything else in that room? Or?
Kind of wander over where the painting was sitting.
Yep.
Is there a fireplace underneath it by chance?
There is, yep.
I look into the fireplace just to kind of curiously look and see if there's anything of.
Make
Out
an
of the
investigation roll.
Next one.
Are you fucking kidding me? Another one! I wouldn't even make you make a second roll, but anyway, you look on the bottom and you see small shards of bone. And because of pieces of bones, very subtle, very small. Average person wouldn't pick up on it, but you did. And because of your nat 20, these are bones of children. Very small. With that said, let me go back out to these guys. Thalia, Scamp, and Argolius. What would you like to do? You guys, he has a letter. You have cloaks. You all put these cloaks on. You put it on your inventory, right? Okay.
What AC is it +1?
+1. Okay.
So I'm going to tell them there was a letter here. It says what the children told us. The father is left for business. He left a nanny and gave her instructions. He says he loves both the children, and that's pretty much all there is to it. These cloaks were in the closet, and he gave you each one. And then the hat. I haven't really taken a look at the hat yet. I guess I could see if there's anything special there.
And you look at the tap, and it's just a normal top hat. Nothing special.
Just seems like a stranger dress top hat.
Okay. So you want to pass that around?
Sure.
So, Thalia, what would you like to do?
Well, now that that crisis has been sorted out, suppose I should check out this other room.
That one over there?
Yep.
Okay, let's put your character in front of that door. You're pulling a yarn.
Hold on, you are.
Right there. So Yorn and you two in the room, what would you like to do at this point?
I kind of picked through and I picked the largest shard of white bone up that I can notice, and I go, Yorn, I think there's more than we know about this place. These are bones of, judging by the quick size, I would probably say children.
Maybe we should ask the children if they have another sibling or not, or if they had one.
That's a good point. For now, let's get the hell out of this dining room.
I believe he said that they had a baby.
So nothing else in that room, right?
I don't think so. There was a tapestry on the wall?
There was a big tapestry on the wall.
Can I take it off the wall completely?
You angrily walk across this room, crunching on all the glass shards, pissed off that it's cut you up pretty bad. And you walk over to the tapestry and you rip it off. It is...
Yorn, we already made a mess.
Yeah, right?
It's like, I don't like this room.
Yeah. Behind the tapestry, you see it's actually not like the rest of this room. It's immaculate. Behind the tapestry, it's all cracked old wood and stone. There are brown paintings of skulls, pentagrams, stick figures, and the number 5 written over and over again throughout this wall. Make an investigation roll while you're looking at all this. Very good. The ink that's used, it's a dark brown ink. It's actually old blood. And it's the entire wall, like a psycho, just crazy with these symbols and drawings on it. You see this also as he just rips it down. You don't know it's old blood, though.
Yeah.
He picks it up.
I'm going to call out to Argolius and ask him to come here.
Argalius, you hear that?
Yep. I'll move.
Say, can you make anything of this?
I'll take a look.
Okay, make an Arcana check. High number.
21.
Oh. The only thing you could deduce, well, you can tell that these symbols are very infernal. But the number 5 worries you. And you immediately think of your 5 brothers and sisters that are here today.
So I'm going to tell them, obviously the symbols are not of this world. They're infernal. The language of the demons in the underworld. The thing that bothers me is the 5. There's 5 of us. Seems significant. All 5 of us are together for the first time in a long time. And now the number's stamped and plastered all over this wall in blood.
Yeah, that creepy ass mansion on top of that. This is really a fantastic family reunion, don't you say?
Do I overhear this?
No, you're over at this door, and you're staring at this door. It looks like it's a wood door, brass handle, very clean, very well kept, like all the other doors. Are you opening it?
Yes.
Oh, shit. What's your? Oh, I got your password right there. Suddenly, Cthulhu jumps out. No, I'm kidding. Let's take that out, please. Pass that to me.
This one?
Yep. Thalia, when you open the door, it's a kitchen. And the kitchen may be gloomy, but it is very tidy. The shelves are neatly stocked with dishware. The work table actually has been wiped clean. A cutting board is the only oversight that you see that's been left behind. There are iron pipes protruding from the oven. They branch out like a willow tree caught in a windstorm. As they twist, and they go upward into the ceiling. There is a dumbwaiter in the far corner. Its gate hangs open, and you hear strange noises echoing, coming from within, and possibly from a different level. At the far end of the kitchen, there's a door for a pantry that hangs open, and there appears to be a note that's pinned next to the door.
Take the note.
You're gonna go across by yourself into the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move her in there.
I'm gonna see Thalia into the room and hell, go that way.
Can we hear any of this from where we are?
No. So that's his turn. He's gonna be walking across the room. You're gonna go now. Let's bring your character to the kitchen. Argolius, what would you like to do? Oh, you 3 in the room. What would you 3 like to do?
Looking at them, I go, hearing your relay of your interpretation of what's going on the wall, I go, well, I count 3. Where's the other 2 to make 5? And if that crap happened to us with only 2 of us alone, we need to be together. So can we exit and try to catch up to the other 2 before they stumble into something else?
I think that's the best idea.
So you guys are gonna head out. Yarn.
Yeah.
All right.
Just fall on.
So let's put you 3 guys out in the hallway, but not right in the kitchen. Like, you can put yourselves right there. Yep. Right. Yep. And the music is still playing, but I have the ambience of the kitchen because they're in there. You start walking across the kitchen, and it is well kept. And there is a pantry, but before you get to the pantry, there is a note on the door. And you read, this is the note. Scamp, you see Thalia grabbing the note.
1 pinch devil's weed, 1 cup of milk, 2 less mouths to feed.
Can you say it again louder, please?
1 pinch devil's weed, 1 cup of milk, 2 less mouths to feed.
Thalia says this to you, and you hear weird sounds coming from the dumbwaiter. Thalia, Scamp.
Write that on us.
What?
What do you think it means?
Poison, perhaps?
At this point, the 3 of you join him in the kitchen, so put you guys all in the kitchen together. You see Scamp and Thalia on the other side, and they seem to be looking at a note. And there are some weird noises coming from a dumbwaiter behind you. And at the far end, there is a pantry that is wide open. So what do you 3 guys like to do?
This is the pantry here.
That's the dumbwaiter. The pantry's over at that end.
I like to make a... So I hear the noise coming from there?
Where you hear noises coming from the dumbwaiter.
Yeah, the dumbwaiter right
And it's
here.
hanging open. Yep, and it's dark.
Kind of turn around and go, kind of experiencing from what the kitchen, now I'm a little more hesitant of like just stumbling into
Smart
things with
man.
those. Hey, there's a sound coming from there. You want to check it out?
If I must.
Do you want to? You don't have to be pulling it. I know you guys are siblings, but...
Go out the door.
No, do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are your eyes broken?
Yarn, you slowly crane your neck upward into the dumbwaiter's narrow shaft, looking upward towards a second level. Chants in the darkness can be heard on the second floor, and it begins to send chills down your spine. You also see simple rope and pulley system lining the walls with a bunch of nested cables going up the shaft towards the kitchen. And it's connected to a brass bell just outside of this dumbwaiter as you stare up into the darkness. This cramped space is actually too small for an adult to go through, but maybe a child or something smaller can make its way up. And the chants you hear upstairs make you very, very uncomfortable. Make a perception roll, please. Fucking sucks for you, bro.
Yeah, that's a 6 total.
The bell starts ringing like hell as the creaking door up top you heard. The rest of you hear the bell and you see him halfway stuck looking up. Are you gonna stay there?
Born?
Nah, I'll,
You sort of back up real quick. He pulls his head out of this darkness.
they know we're here.
They are summoning food or something of type of service, and it looks like we're standing in a kitchen. So
Perhaps give them their recipe.
You guys have the same perception. You two make perception rolls, Argolius and Duke, because you're right near the dumbwaiter.
18 flat.
She's 12 or higher. You got 18. Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be the flat 10.
Yeah.
Let's check. Yeah.
Argolius, you don't pick up on this, but you do. At the base and around the frame of the dumb waiter, you happen to see scratch marks and small broken fingernails around the frame of the dumb waiter. Very small, but you picked up on just like you saw the small bones.
Duke. Is there a door on this thing?
The dumb waiter, yeah, it's up. Door's up, so it's open. It's a big hole.
Yeah. I suggest we probably slam this thing because we don't know what's upstairs, and this is an exit down to us.
Bell starts ringing again. Something or someone wants food. Now you two guys also, you two girls also hear the bells chiming as you look at your brothers all standing together, bunched up.
I hand the note off to Argolius. Like, you know magic things and reagents.
He'll definitely pick up on this.
Yeah. Magic's like cooking, but with fireballs.
Oh no.
I think we should set that up.
I think we might have a problem.
I investigate around the kitchen for devil weed and milk.
Alright, go ahead.
Well, if I remember right, there's only a baby and the 2 children. The portrait only had the 2 children. Devil's weed is not something you want to consume. So I'm wondering about the children. I don't think that. Well, I'm not really sure.
We'll
Something
pacify
may have
whatever's
happened.
here.
The door creaks again. You guys love that, don't you? So, now all of you hear Argolius telling you this, and Thalia, you're over by the doorway of the pantry that's open.
Well, what do you think? Should we just make that concoction for the giggles to see if it's even in this room?
Let's see if we can find the devil's weed in the pantry.
Oh, guess what? Oh, dear sister, would you like to check the pantry?
I would like to check the pantry for weed.
Yes.
Thalia, what are you going to
The
do?
devil's lettuce. Find it.
Very well. She will cautiously enter the pantry.
And your perception is... Okay, you enter this pantry. The light behind you sort of gives you the ability to see. It's cramped and it's well stocked with all sorts of foods. You find wheat, ale, barrels of ale, sacks of potatoes, jars of dried jerky, and all different spices and spice racks inside. Make a investigation roll.
I'm going to eat a piece of jerky. 6.
Okay, you're grabbing a piece of jerky?
Yes.
All right, you open up the jar and you grab a big piece of jerky and you start eating it. Who's closest to him? Her?
Yes.
Okay, you hear munching. You look in there and you see Thalia eating from a jar a strip of jerky. I need you to make a perception roll.
1. Yeah, a 4 total.
What is a 1?
Yeah, I rolled a
The jerky looks good to you also, and you don't see nothing wrong with it. Anything else you're trying to do looking inside there?
Trying to find that devil's weed.
Right now you don't, but you're enjoying the jerky. The 3 of you see them both disappear into the pantry. What would you 3 like to do? Starting with Yorn.
Yorn's gonna kind of walk over towards the doorway of the kitchen area.
Yep.
And kind of just be peeking out and around, making sure there's nothing coming around.
You do peek out and make a perception roll. And with advantage, your number is 12 or higher.
Oh yeah, advantage.
Oh, sucks for you. It sort of looks normal to you outside, and you don't see or hear anything particular. Duke, what would you like to do?
I want to go ahead and these two are in the pantry. They take a minute.
Okay, you go in there and you see both your sibling orphans. One, Thalia is enjoying a big piece of strip of dried jerky. Scampy, what were you doing?
Hey, that looks kind of good. Now down some rations. I gave some to little boy Thorn. Give some here.
So they're sharing this jerky, this long strips of this dried jerky in a jar. Make a perception roll.
17.
As you see them, she's giving her some of the pieces, and Thalia's enjoying it. One of the large pieces that she gets, you see a tattoo on it. This is obviously human skin that's been dried.
Oh God.
Put it down. That you're eating.
Well, I'll
You're
share
eating
some if
maggots,
you want.
Michael.
No. You're eating people. Put it down.
What?
And then you realize that it does taste kind of gamey for a dry piece. And you look, and there's actually some tattoos. You see some scar marks and in some holes that indicative of human hair.
Do I recognize the tattoo?
No.
Okay.
It's just,
I'm
so it's just a regular.
gently pull that back.
Okay.
I throw it.
And Argolius, what would you like to do?
What do you mean they were eating something? Because I'm hearing all the commotion in the room.
They're eating dead people.
I just told you there was potentially poison and you're eating things? No! Don't eat things!
Well,
What's wrong with you?
They think with their stomachs. They haven't changed a bit.
Get back to business at hand. You're looking for something that doesn't belong. Devil's weed doesn't belong in the kitchen. It wouldn't be with a spice. It shouldn't be in a nice, pretty jar. It's poisonous. Don't touch it. But you're looking for something that shouldn't be here.
Well, you could say that, and there's also dead remain jerky people in here too, and they're eating on it, so it probably would belong in here.
Haunted house.
All right, fine. Books for brains, and then go back to properly searching.
Okay, as far as searching the room, the rest of you do not find anything that looks like a plant other than crushed up spices and foods and stuff.
Alright, well, no use here. I turn around and I'm back in the middle of the kitchen.
Alright, anybody else have any other business in this kitchen? No. Okay, let's pull everybody back out into the hall.
Ready.
Last person, here's the bell fading into the distance when you walk out. Alright, we're all here in the hall once again. The music is still playing above you. And there is still another door yet to be seen. And you could also try to attempt to leave this house. You guys have decisions to make.
Well, for what we've collected for our short, unpleasant welcoming time in here, we've been hit and slashed by plates, which Yonder caught with his face more than once. We had two siblings eat their own, kind of tasty, yeah, within both of you. And then we also saw a bunch of stuff that really creeped us out on the other side. So, choices. We can keep going into this madness or get out. Or we keep playing around, find these other doors and find the source and fulfill the promise that we had to those two children out there.
Whatever is going on here must be stopped. I vote we stay.
I look at the short sword and give the cape a swirl. I think it's worth a while.
One more.
One more, Yorn, of course, one more. And Argolius, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna agree. I think we've got to figure out what's going on in the house before we do anything else.
Alright, so we're all going to go towards this door?
Yes.
Alright. Passing the stairwell, as you do, the piano stops playing, and it falls quiet upstairs. Who's going to the door first?
That would be
Okay.
I'll be second.
Give me second. Who's third?
That's the doorway. Here.
Oh. Last door.
Again, it's an elegant looking door.
Yeah.
The handle is brass and has been polished. It's very beautiful. There's a nice torch
I want
strong.
to make sure that I scuff it when I grab it.
Ooh, okay, yes. You're pissed off. As you reach up, you see a small piece of glass just fall out of one of your wounds, hits the ground. You open the door. Let's take it out. Upon opening this door, light from behind you in the hall spills into a large den. The wind outside begs to enter this room through the windows. And out from the darkness, you immediately see several stuffed wolves, their bodies frozen forevermore. It's definitely the work of a professional taxidermist, no doubt. There's a stag head that's mounted above an unlit fireplace. There are fine chairs draped in furs that face the hearth. There's a cask of wine, a pipe rack, and a candelabra which rests on a table between these chairs. And the goblets, unfortunately, they're bone dry. The candelabra gleams in the in the main hall's light that shines into this den. Beneath the candelabra, you see little white droplets of wax that look like islands spread about the table. You notice there are two cabinets that line the southern walls. And in one darkened corner of the room, there's a chandelier which hangs above a cloth-covered table. And there appears to be two books, a curled-up scroll, and a quill and pen on that table. So you see this, you describe that to your party.
Yeah.
You gonna go in?
Yeah, I'm gonna describe that to everybody. I want to go in, but immediately hug this wall here.
You have a high passive perception.
Correct. 13.
You hug the wall, looking at the wolf. They almost look alive, but they're not. It sort of makes you calm a little bit. This room makes you very, very uneasy.
Yeah.
But you see nothing else out of ordinary except what I described to you, and the three large stuffed wolves.
Okay.
I will go in and hug the other one.
This one.
I'll walk towards the center of the room.
Very good.
I'm going to the table with the books and the scroll.
Okay. Duke?
I follow suit about the scroll on the table.
And Duke, before you walk out, please make a perception roll. 15 or higher.
6.
Okay. Again, you notice nothing else. So you walk calmly into this this room. Where are you? I'm sorry?
Huh?
Where are you going into this room?
I'm following suit with him behind
Okay.
him.
There's one of the cabinets, so there's two. Okay. So let's go around the room. Everyone tells me what they want to do. We're going to start with Scam.
I'd like to investigate the cabinet.
Okay. There are two cabinets. One is locked, and one is not. Let's see. Okay. One of the cabinets, as you look inside, the locked one, you notice there are 3 crossbows inside. One heavy oak, a lighter frame one, and one that's small enough to fit in your hand. You also see behind them, on the lower part of this cabinet, 3 bundles of 5 bolts leaning against the frame. It appears to have silver tips to the bolts. All the crossbows have some type of magic sigils on the sides of them. And you also notice etched on each crossbow the word hope says on all the crossbows. But this cabinet is locked. Okay. You're what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go out of my way to cut the head off this taxidermy wolf next.
Okay. And it falls, and it's filled with stuffing and cotton, and it just drops to the ground. Nothing happens.
You're so done with this
The rest of you
house.
guys look back and you see Jorn standing over this stuffed animal, and he just looks at you guys. All make contact with him, and
Mighty warrior feeling victorious, are we?
all right. Thalia, what would you like to do?
She'll do a slow little spin in the center of the room just to get very feel for it.
Make a perception roll, please.
Okay. 7.
Yeah, to you looks like just normal. You don't see anything that catches your attention. The frost is building up on the windows outside. The windows shake because of the wind, but nothing else you're really picking up in this room.
Okay.
Duke.
Following her, since she's attracted to the shinings, kind of follow where she goes, and she's looking at the cabinet, and I can kind of see her kind of peering at it and examining it. So I walk behind her and go, "Scamp, what are you?" And I look into the cabinet and I go, "No, I noticed. Do I notice the lock?"
Yeah, you see there's a lock on that cabinet.
Hey, Scamp, watch this. I reach into my pouch and I pull out some thieves' tools and I go, "We're gonna get this lock
You
undone."
son of a... I'm a race to do it.
All right, let's see if you can do this. Go ahead.
Thieves' tools give Would it be sleight of hand?
Yeah, you can use sleight of hand. Yep.
Unnatural 20.
Woo! As he cracks his knuckles, within a few seconds, you hear the sound of click click of a cabinet unlocking, and you unlock the cabinet.
That's
Really
why the
quick.
ladies love me.
Ladies' luck, and you open it up. Inside is
Not this one.
That is your sister.
Not her, you nasty.
there's a hand crossbow, there's a light crossbow, and a heavy crossbow, which is two-handed. The only people that can use this is somebody that has a martial weapon.
I'm gonna take the light crossbow.
Okay, that's 1d8.
Yep.
And then there's a hand crossbow and a heavy crossbow.
I'm gonna swipe the hand crossbow and glare at you.
It's 1d6, and it has it has the word hope carved into it, but there's also sigils carved into it as well.
Got a matching
Are
set.
the
You
bolts
can have it.
under the same block?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna take 5 of the bolts as well.
Okay, so there's 3 package of bolts. There's 5 bolts in each packet. There's
I'll take 1 pack.
Okay. Our goalies, what would you like to do?
I want to check out the books and the scroll on the table.
You approach the books on the table. You see one book. It has the title Jealousy and Damnation on the cover. And it seems pretty worn. Breezing through it, you're able to make out some story about a jealous woman who turns to the Dark Ones for revenge. But mostly all the other pages, they have been defaced with markings of infernal scribbles throughout. If you make let's do an Arcana check. 10 or higher.
17.
You immediately pick up, it says over and over and over again throughout the book, time to die, time to die. The other book, it seems to be like a journal or a notebook. The first 5 pages actually have been torn out. Make an investigation roll. You got it. As soon as you open up the journal of this book, you see in the spine, on the inside of the cover of the book, you see your name, his name, all of your brothers' names and sisters' names are in the book. You also notice that the paper that's in the notebook that hasn't been torn out, there's indentations into that paper. And the indentations look like the handwriting of the mysterious letter you received. You also can tell that the paper from that mysterious letter is the same paper that came from this book.
So I'm going to relay that information to the group. So one of these books is rather unscrupulous, and there's quite a bit of writing suggesting that it's time to die. There's a story about a jealous wife turning to the dark arts for revenge. What's more concerning is this journal. The first few pages have been ripped out. Looking at the pages that follow, I can match the paper, the handwriting style to each of the letters we received. And all of our names are written here in the book.
We were expected.
There's also a scroll.
I really started to really hate this
I'm
house.
gonna this time draw my Morning Star and just be prepared.
Smart lady.
I'm gonna take some of the bolts for the hand crossbow.
Okay.
If I can, I'd like to cut the heads off the other 2 wolves.
Alright, I'm gonna have you walk over to that wolf while that's going on. There's a scroll. You pick up the scroll, you'll get advantage with this roll. It's all written in Arcana. 2 dice, and your magic number is 10 or higher.
Yep. Got it, 13.
The scroll is. Hold on. This is called a scroll of message deliverance. Now you've heard about these type of scrolls. So basically, the person who reads this scroll repeats the incantation. They write a letter or a correspondence on a piece of paper, and after they read the incantation, the letter magically disappears, and it teleports to a respondent, no matter where they are. And these type of scrolls have caused many wars in the past. And this scroll can help, or may not help. But if you have to relay information to somebody in a quiet situation, it may help you out. And now you have an idea how your letters got delivered to all of you.
I'm going to take that and put it in my pocket.
Okay. Scroll of message deliverance.
I'm also going to tell the group, well, I think I figured out how we got our letters. This scroll I just took is a scroll of message deliverance. By reading the incantation on the scroll, one could send a message without any hand-to-hand delivery. Depending on who the recipient was, it would go straight to them.
Well, that explains why I woke up with this thing attached to my hand.
That's why maybe that's why it's the hideout I was using.
Okay, so you went over and you cut off the head of the second. Same thing. It rolls. It's filled with stuff and cotton, straw.
More than pleased with that.
Okay, you're very happy. The third one says, "Motherfucker, what you doing?" No, I'm just kidding. All right, Thalia, you drew your weapon. Your turn. What was it? There's another cabinet, and you've got a fireplace. You've got tables, and what would you?
Alright,
or you
so-
can leave the room.
I kind of peer into the other cabinet, seeing that this one was locked up. Maybe there's some type of importance or hints of what's going on in here further.
Looking at this cabinet, you see it's unlocked.
Probably open.
Open, and there inside is a small box. You gonna take that out with your bare hands?
Can I do?
Bro, what you looking at?
I see a box.
It's a wooden box.
It's a wooden box. I take one of my daggers out and I poke it.
Nothing happens.
Well, I reach in and I grab it and pull it out.
Okay, nothing happens.
Smash it with a hammer.
Was it? Let me see. You got the last cabinet.
Here, open it.
I'd like to detect traps.
You can make a roll for that, please.
Anything to add?
Yeah, there's no traps. It's just a small wooden box.
15.
You got this.
You're opening it?
Yeah.
Inside is a vial with a purple bubbling liquid, and it's pretty thick, almost like a gel, but there's bubbles actually sizzling in it. There's arcana writing along the glass of this vial. It's about that big, too. But you can try to make an arcana check. It's gonna be high for you.
I'll try. Oh!
Somebody cut class during magic lessons. So yeah, you can't figure out the magic or the reading. That's a sign. That's a forte.
I turn to her guy. Augie, books for brains, bro!
Nope, drop that.
Let me take a look.
You can do this with advantage. Your magic number is gonna be 10 again. Of course.
Yeah.
Upon looking at this thick purple liquid that bubbles, you immediately pick up on the inscriptions, and it's an ointment of spectral damage. So basically, from your studies, you remember that if somebody applies this to their weapon, it actually can do damage to undead creatures, specters, or ghosts. But unfortunately, it only lasts for about 30 minutes. But based on your training and the amount that's in there, there's enough for 3 weapons.
So that's a fairly fortuitous thing to find. That looks to me to be a oil of spectral damage. It's only about 3 doses, if you want to call it that, in the vial. Coating your weapon will yield increased damage against anything that happens to be undead or spectral. But it doesn't last long. Maybe 30 minutes once you uncork it.
Oh, so it's like the sword. Oh, speaking of it, I'm showing the crossbow as well, the hand one. It got the same magic sigils.
I'll take a look.
Okay.
20.
Is it a natural 20?
Yes, it was.
Oh my god. Here we go. As soon as she just shows it to you in seconds, the inscriptions on there basically say that whoever shoots these bolts, they do normal damage to any undead or spiritual or unnatural creatures.
So, it's a weapon that would be useful against the undead and spirits. It would be normal damage, but it would damage them.
Alright.
Its inscriptions are on the other weapons as well. So
I'm starting to pick up a trend here.
I'm getting a theme.
I mean, compared to this, a vial that helps undead and spirits, a sword that does the same thing, now crossbows. What is this Hope Foundation? It seems like they're prepared for something, a paladin or something like that would know.
Talia, what would you like to be doing at this juncture? You hear this conversation that's going on. There's an uneasiness to this house. You don't feel comfortable going anywhere further in this house, but you're the paladin, so.
Have I noticed any infernal writing or anything?
You wouldn't have, but your brother would have in a book.
Would you have relayed that to me?
Yep, I said there was demonic stuff, and the lady turned to the dark arts.
Okay, then I would like to do a religion check on the sigils and stuff, try to figure out what kind of cult they belong to. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
15.
17. So you don't have any pluses?
I have a +1.
Yeah, it's not. They look like regular sigils to you, so you don't know.
Okay.
So, Yorn, what would you like to do?
Going to that third wall.
I would do it.
As you slowly approach this wolf, the eyes almost look sad, like puppy eyes. As you look and you make eye contact with this stuffed animal.
I hit it even harder than last.
When the head hits the ground, to your surprise, 3 vials of some type of liquid roll out of its body and hit the ground. It's a blue liquid.
Yep.
And right away you know this is common healing potions. And there are 3 of them.
Stop killing the puppies.
So you found 3 healing potions, 3 of them. 2d4 plus 2.
But he's so good at it.
Well, they're standing still. Trust me, he lost the plates and dishware earlier. Okay.
So now all 3 wolves there have been beheaded. The rest of you guys are in this room. At this juncture, there's really nothing else of value unless you want to stay. Then you have options. You can leave, check the rest of the floor, or you can go up to a second level.
Is the fireplace lit?
No, it's not. It's unlit.
I had found 3 of those.
Yes, 3
I'm gonna
vials.
ask anybody want one of these, because I'm not gonna carry out 3 here.
I tell you what.
I'll take one.
Why don't we give it to the beefy of us, and then look over at my other siblings and go. So, anybody else feel like they're gonna need a little bit of?
I'll take one. It never hurts to have a little extra.
There you go,
2.
Is there a painting over this fireplace like the others?
No, there's just a stag head, a stuffed stag head of a deer. So you want Yarn to cut that in half too?
I go, look, I'm gonna spare this one. Kind of point my finger and I'll just blast the deer head.
And it explodes. Straw and cotton fill up the room and slowly settles down to the ground as
What
it's
do you
destroyed.
have against taxidermy?
When we get attacked by plates, God forbid these things turn to light. Okay.
The stuffed animals in the orphanage really traumatized you too.
Yeah, they are going.
So from where I'm standing, I'm gonna stretch out my hand, kind of trace the symbol, and cast Firebolt on the fireplace to catch it on fire.
Ooh. And you do, and it lights up. The room gets an orange bright glow, but nothing spectacular happens.
Based on his position, how close would the thing fly by me?
You're fine. It would go by.
Okay.
Margolis is a skilled wizard.
Well, I feel like we've gotten everything for the most part. A scary book with all our names in it. The number 5 in the other room. Well, let's go meet our unwelcoming guest, I guess. Probably says, maybe.
I agree. I think it's time to go upstairs.
Oh boy. Athalia, what do you think?
I believe that is our best course of action.
Yorn?
Why not?
I saw some stuffed animals outside. You want to go attack those?
Or just
it's
give
an
one to the
option.
kids. Yeah, for you.
And
Take over
Scamp,
all
you
one
agree?
has.
All right.
Here, give me your doll.
Who's going out first?
I will. I'm mad about the cabinet.
Oh, you're mad about my
Oh,
out leaving the road?
You do the weird magic stuff. Jimmy
Scamp, as
looks.
soon as you walk out the door, you see those 4 statues. They're all lined up and they're facing you.
Good.
Guys.
He sees this. You don't. You guys are ready to pile out. Who's going out second? Can you show me a line of people?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you're number 1 right
Yep.
here. I'm
Take
assuming
second. Yeah.
you'll pick second.
I'll go third.
Third.
Works for me. I'll just.
Alright, perfect. We're in line. Okay.
Okay. Are you gonna move forward?
She's
Oh, you're in the front.
You know, I have stopped in place.
All right. You stopped. Oh, you out first, or the girls?
I went up first.
Okay, so you went out first, and you see this, and the statues look beautiful, and you checked them out before.
but they've moved.
Oh hell yeah! They're no longer in a circle; they're in a straight line, and they're facing all of you.
They're still pretty, but now they're scary.
I'm going to walk up to the farthest one on the left and just give it a little nudge.
Well, let's hold up.
Yeah.
You're gonna start walking out. Who else is in the room?
Assuming you step to the side, are you going out?
Yeah.
Alright. Where are you going?
just outside, and being very startled, I'll start to like slowly.
All right, stop 1 second. Thalia, when you walk out, who's in the room still?
Those three.
No, inside the den.
Us two of us.
The door actually slams
We
closed.
took care of the wolves.
Looking on the ground, you notice that the wolf heads, they start blaring their teeth and growling.
What are they?
Their eyes are turning red, and they're moving and snapping and howling. But because their heads have been cut off, the door unlocks and the room falls silent once again.
Oh, thank God for murderers.
The door opens up. So, yeah, you're lucky you did that. So, if you guys want to join them in the lobby, you can. You walk over to the statue and you walk close to it. The statue is about maybe 3 feet taller than you. It's staring past you. It's a beautiful sculpture. You put your hands on it?
I don't know. Push it over.
You realize that you can't. It's so strong, it's impossible. You try and you try and you just can't.
With my sword, even ding it. Okay, do that.
You hit it, it sparks, nothing happens.
God, alright. I'm gonna get out of its way.
Okay, good. You move out of the way.
I wanna move like
And the
here.
wolf heads come running out, bopping on the ground, attacking your feet. Alright, Thalia, what would you like to do?
Can I investigate the statue, see if I can find any kind of infernal sigils on them?
Make an investigation on this.
16.
Nothing on there, it's just beautiful sculptures. Okay. Duke and Orgolius, the last two, you guys are gonna walk out to the lobby.
Yeah.
What would you like to do after that?
What would you like to be?
You find the others, just fine.
Huh. Weren't they in a circle formation last time we were in here?
They definitely moved.
Well, we know what we just experienced moving decapitated wolf heads. Looking at the statues, I go, what are the odds that these are gonna move? They already moved somehow.
They already.
Well, I'm gonna motivate them again.
Okay.
I kind of point my finger at the one that Yarner's standing next to, and I go, Elder's Blast.
What's the most damage you can do with that?
The most Eldritch Blast, 10.
I won't make you make a roll for it. You blast it, it lights up, and as the smoke sizzles, you don't have to make a roll.
Okay.
No damage to it whatsoever. It's stone. As far as you can tell, it's stone. Doesn't move, doesn't crack. Very strong stone.
That's a very hardy statue.
Yes.
I look behind us. Is the door still open from the room we just left?
It is, and the wolf heads are not moving. They're not making any noises. The room behind you is open, yes. The den.
How close together are the statues to each other?
It's about 2 feet. Orgolius?
I'm gonna look the statues up and down and see if there's anything that stands out to me.
Make an investigation roll.
15.
You notice the faces look almost sad, where everybody else is not picking up on that.
I'm just kind of asking like a question. Has anyone else noticed that all these statues look sad?
Now you guys see the faces do look sad.
I don't believe I had.
That way. I'm gonna go behind them and investigate the back.
You do. You see nothing else different other than the sad looks on their faces, where before they look stoic and proud. They could be warning you guys not to go forward, or they could be just there, or somebody's playing tricks on you.
Well, any thoughts?
Has that suit of armor moved?
I kind of, him mentioning that, I turn around. Is that door still open?
It's
behind me?
closed,
I'm gonna go over to that door and try it.
and it's unlocked. You open it up, and the pseudo armor is standing there, stoic, beautifully shined and tarnished. It hasn't moved.
Well, we can either stare at these things, figure out what's wrong, or we go upstairs.
No use standing around staring at statues.
Thalia, you actually feel comfortable that the statues are probably going to be no harm to you. So, Thalia has spoken to the rest of you guys. Paladin, you trust her.
Alright, who's going up the stairs first?
As I'm
Second.
going up, I'd like to use Divine Sense.
You do, and you almost get to the point of nausea. You get so uncomfortable that the upper levels is beyond evil.
Okay.
So we're going upstairs, and with that, I'm going to take a break. We're going to bring out the next map. It's going to get pretty hairy. So hopefully, you guys, if you're watching, you stick around because there is 5, and there may be less. So,
Oh no.
Walter, you can press stop, please. Thank you. All right, guys, take a break, stretch, and I'll make it.